Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and you're watching another episode of Practical Witchcraft. Today we're going to be casting a spell for psychic visions. So let's head on over to the altar and get crafting. Hello, okay, so today we're doing a spell we're going to craft for psychic visions. Now, what I've decided to do is I'm going to craft what I call, or what I know as, a dream pillow. So what it is, it's a small little pillow with herbs in it that you sleep with. Whether you put it in your own pillow, whether you put it next to you, you use that to help you, have more lucid dreams or visions. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to create an anointing oil. And I'm going to use this anointing oil not only on myself before I go to bed, but I'm also going to anoint the dream pillow with this oil. And you can use it like every night before you go to sleep. Put a little drop of the oil on the pillow. Okay, so I haven't shown you how I make anointing oils, so I'm going to show you how we do that today. So this right now is, I think it's a 2-dram bottle, and what I did is I filled it a little, like halfway, with a pure olive oil as a carrier. Okay, what I want to do though is, before we go any further, I want to light my candles, start my incense, and make the crafting of the anointing oil part of the spell. Okay, so let me remove the feathers, make some space, and light my candles. We light the red candle for the primordial feminine. Oh, we light the red candle for the primordial feminine, or your goddess. I don't work with a specific goddess, but I would encourage you to light your goddess candle. Evoke your goddess or the primordial feminine. Light the candle for the primordial masculine, or evoke the primordial masculine or your god. Obviously, I don't share those evocations with you, but that's what you would do. And the white candle is for my spirit allies. Blood, bone, flesh. I'm going to put the used in there. Then I'm going to light my charcoal disc and get the incense burning. The incense that I made for this is wormwood, mugwort, and mullein. That's the incense. I already crafted that. If you want to know how to craft an incense, what my process is going through and crafting an incense, I would encourage you to go back to the first episode, and I walked through my process on how I craft an incense. I want to make sure that this is lit. Okay, so as that's going, again, I said I filled this halfway with olive oil. I am going to put, here's the incense that I made, mugwort, mullein, wormwood. That's the incense we're going to burn. I want to find something so I can put, you know what, we'll move this over here so you can see how and actually I want to bring my pentacle here and I'm going to open this up. So the anointing oil I'm going to craft, we're going to use cedar wood, essential oil, frankincense and myrrh essential oil, and sandalwood. Now I believe this is a fragrance oil, meaning that it has a carrier. It's sandalwood cut with a carrier. Actually, I lie. This is an essential oil. It says right there it's essential oil. It's an older bottle. I thought it wasn't an essential oil. It is. It's an essential oil. Okay, so I am going to put 3 to 6 drops of each of these into my carrier oil. And I use these little pips. One, two, three, four, five, six. That was the cedar wood. A new pip, because I don't want to mix the essential oils. One, two, three, four, five, six. And a new pip for the sandalwood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it's very slippery because my hands have oil on them. Let me cover these up. Mix it up. And that oil is done. Now you can do it up beforehand and leave it on the altar and ask your god or goddess or ancestors to infuse it. Normally that's what I do, but I wanted to show you how I did this. So I would basically put something on here or balance this, again, like I do with all the things I enchant, all the things that I work with. I would leave it here and ask my spiritual allies to ensure that it is infused with the intention of psychic visions, ask them to add their energies to it. I might even put a pinch of graveyard dirt in it. So that's the oil we're going to use. Okay, so then the next thing I need is I need a purple candle. You can anoint it with that same oil if you desire. I'm not going to anoint it. And I'm going to use the elements. So I need a bowl of water and a bowl of salt. And I'm going to anoint the pillow with the elements, the energies of the elements, after the pillow is complete. I'm going to insert here, as I talk, a little bit of the video of me sewing the material for the pillow. So I'm going to insert that here. So what I did is earlier, prior to standing at my altar, I took some time and I sat and I sewed together a piece of material to make a little pouch. Turned it in right side. It was inside out when I sewed it, so the seam wouldn't be seen. And then I turned it right side out and left a little hole so that I could stuff it with fiberfill and with the herbs. Now you can make a sachet, a little pouch instead of a pillow, but I'm making a pillow because for me pillows bring about the idea of sleep and the idea of psychic visions while I'm sleeping, which is why I crafted a pillow. But you can do a little pouch if you want. You don't even have to make a pouch yourself. You could buy a pouch. But I have purple material here because purple for me represents psychic vision, as well as why I'm using a purple candle. So here is the material with the open end. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of fiber fill here. And I bought this big bag because my daughter was doing a project, polyfill, fiber fill. I'm going to take a little bit of the fiber fill, which looks like this, and we're going to stuff it in here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it right now, and I'm going to stuff it into the little hole here. Like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff some for the bottom, and then in the middle I'm going to put the herbs. So just want to, so I make like a little cup. I move the fill around so I can feel in here in the fill that there's a little hole. I'm going to put a little more. Around the edges. So I'm basically making a little hole in the middle. Put a little more on the other side. I'm going to put a little more in this corner. Okay, so I'm putting a little more in this corner here and more over here, so that in the middle, you can't really see, but there's a little dip. That's where I'm going to put the incense. I mean, not the incense, the herbs. Okay, so I have this. I'm going to put some more incense in there. I'm going to lay this on top, and the herbs that I'm going to stuff in here is the same as the incense. We're going to use, let me move this over. We're going to use mullein, wormwood, and mugwort, but I'm also going to put some lavender in here to help with promote the dreaming or the sleep. Okay, so I'm going to take a spoon, just a regular tablespoon, or if you have a measuring spoon, and I am going to, you can use your fingers too. I'm going to put some herbs inside. And like I said, I'm trying to get them in the hole that I created inside the pillow. You can stuff the whole thing with herbs, but depending on the herbs, like lavender, it can get sort of expensive, which is why I use some fiber fill. You could also put the incense, or I'm sorry, put the herbs in a little sachet and then stick the sachet inside. But I like doing it this way. But there are different ways that you can get this to work for you. Some wormwood. I'm going to put some more wormwood. I'm just using my hands to move the fiber fill around so I can really get the herbs inside. I'm going to put some more lavender. I'm going to put a little bit more mugwort. Okay, now I can feel the nice little patch of herbs there. Then I'm going to finish stuffing this. Let me move my herbs off of this table. I have a little table set up next to me. I'm going to grab a little more fiber fill here. To finish stuffing this, I need some more. And you can fill it with fiber fill to be as firm or as soft as you want. Okay, so when it's as full as you want it to be, this feels really good, then you're going to sew the top. So you pull the seams together. I have a needle and thread already set up here. And you're going to stitch the top. So you're going to go through and stitch the top. So we have the last stitch here. You want to make sure you tie it off with a knot so that it stays, so that it doesn't unravel. Oh, got a little bit of a string here. This isn't good. Oh, I don't know what that's from. Make sure and cut the end. in there. Okay, so there's the pillow. I've made the pillow. Okay, so now this pillow I am going to cleanse with the elements, and then I'm going to consecrate it with the oil. So at this point I am going to make sure I have the incense burning. I'm going to light my purple candle with the flame from Spirit, and I am going to ask the elements to infuse this with their energies. So obviously the incense is by the power of air, the salt by the power of earth, water by the power of water, and then over the flame by the power of fire. Then I am going to use the oil, and as I said, I am going to put just a few drops of this oil on the pillow and on myself, on my third eye. I anoint my third eye, and I would put a few drops of this oil every night prior to bed. And then I'm going to say the spell. I'm going to hold it in my hands and say the spell. Psychic visions is what I seek, to look beyond, to take a peek. Mugwort, woolen, wormwood, and oil, by fire, air, water, and soil, to unlock the chakra of my third eye. I seek visions, to act like a spy, to reach beyond, to take a peek. This is my desire, it is what I seek. With the power of will, I set forth my plea. As I will this, so shall it be. And then I would raise energy by saying, to look beyond, to take a peek. To look beyond, to take a peek. Sending the energy to the pillow. So I'm actually going to put my receptive and projective hand on top of it and say the spell. Say the chant. To look beyond, to take a peek. 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 Seal the spell. All the energy has gone to the pillow. I don't think I'm going to leave it here, but I'm going to leave it on the altar and ask my spirit allies to ensure that the spell is the pillow is infused for psychic visions. And then when I feel that that time is finished and everything has, they've done their work for me, I will say thank you, blow out the candles, ensure my offerings are still fresh and acceptable, and then at night I would sleep with the pillow under my pillow or near me, but I would sleep with it in my bed near my head to help with psychic visions. And again, anoint this, I would anoint myself and the pillow. I would do this spell, I would craft this on a waxing moon or a full moon on a Wednesday. That's when I would do it, but you know, whatever correspondence works for you. Then I would thank the spirits and the spiritual entities that worked with me, make sure their offerings were set. I would extinguish the candle, and that's how I would do this spell for psychic visions. And as always, I love you. Blessed be.